Hey everybody, it's Cheryl and welcome back to Technique of the Week. It's week 19 and this week we're going to talk about shading with MistyFuse. So if you're not sure what MistyFuse is a fusible web that does not come on a paper. So unlike, the heat and bond that I normally use, MistyFuse doesn't have any paper in it, and so it is just the spun glue that you can put your fabric on and then put it onto a nonstick sheet so that you can adhere it to the fabric without actually sticking it, to your ironing board or whatever. But I was playing around with the black MistyFuse, which is what this is, and I had it sort of crumpled up and I thought it looks a little bit like pencil sketching to me. So I thought, I wonder if I could make something look like a sketch with just putting down cut layers of MistyFuse. And lo and behold, I found out that you could. So this is the quilt that I made using the layers of MistyFuse. And so what I did was I had cut out the shape of the pear first, the entire shape of the pear. And then with each subsequent layer, I cut more and more of it back. I did actually cut these holes out on that first layer so that that would be the most highlighted part. So think of this as sort of a, if you're sketching and you're laying down layers of pencil marks, you can't erase, so you're going to actually only lay down marks or layers of MistyFuse where you want it to be darker. And so what I did was I just kept cutting shapes away and then put my MistyFuse down, covered everything with a nonstick sheet, and then ironed it and came away with this pear shape that, looks pretty much like you sketched it with a pencil or a pen. It's pretty cool. So you can do this with all kinds of things. You could do faces, you could do pretty much anything. This is sort of a still life, of the pear, but you could do, whatever you wanted. And then I did quilt it, and I did choose not to quilt the actual MistyFused parts. The other thing to keep in mind, anytime you want to iron this, you're going to want to put that nonstick sheet down, then iron it, pull that nonstick sheet away, and then, just don't let your iron touch this stuff because, of course, it is fusible and it will come off onto your iron and also all over the rest of your project. So, pretty cool technique. If you had a quilt that you wanted to add a little more dimension to, let's say you have a color, a face or something, and you wanted to add more shadow in a particular spot, you could go ahead and do that with the MistyFuse. Remember, this is MistyFuse that comes in black, but you could also paint this. You could also take the clear MistyFuse and paint that and get a completely different effect. So take a look for MistyFuse at your local store. I'll also give you some resources over on my blog. So give this one a try. I think you'll enjoy it, and it's just one more way for you to add a little bit of technique and dimension to your project. Don't forget that you can follow along on my blog at www.muppin.com. You can also subscribe to this channel and get a new video in your newsfeed every week. You can also go to my website and subscribe to my newsletter and get the 52 Technique of the Week checklist. And you can follow along all the techniques along with me. So thanks and have a great day, and I'll see you again next week.